The mission of small college basketball, what we're doing, is ultimately to unite all of those people that are passionate about college basketball at the small college level and serve as ambassadors for our game. So what does that mean, and what do we represent, who are we uniting, etc.? For the purpose of clarification, when I use the term small college basketball, what I'm referring to is all four-year college basketball that is non-NCAA Division I. So NCAA Division II and NCAA Division III, the NAIA, USCAA, and NCCAA. So together we'll represent roughly 1,200 colleges, universities throughout the country. Collectively, we will serve as ambassadors for 8 national championships within those levels. So let me take a moment to let you know what we're going to do to fulfill that mission. Ultimately, we are going to create the Small College Basketball Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame Classic, and then we're going to create a series of major national awards, and we will continue to add events, and then there will be much more coming. The first major national award that we will announce, we will provide more details in the near future, will be the Bevo Francis Award. And so much more will come on the Bevo Francis Award, much more detail will come about the Hall of Fame and the Hall of Fame Classic. Here in the near future, we will be making both announcements in detail in separate locations in December on the Hall of Fame Classic, and the Bevo Francis Award. So in 2015-16, this season, what are we going to do? We're going to make the announcements and have the first national award with the Bevo Francis Award, make the announcements about the Hall of Fame Classic. We will issue the State of the Association Award. We will launch the website, and then we will make additional announcements going forward. Ultimately, small college basketball will be the voice and the platform for coaches, student athletes, contributors to our game that fit under this umbrella. We will use this platform to tell our story. A story about small college basketball all throughout the country and at these different levels. By far, many of you in this room are aware that the majority of college basketball at the four-year level is actually played at the small college level. Collectively, as I mentioned, we're looking at roughly 1,200 colleges, universities throughout the country that we will serve. Ultimately, our venture of small college basketball is about people and it's about passion. In order to properly launch this, we've spent a great deal of time over the last year building a website, which will be the most comprehensive website of its kind that exists today. This is the beginning. This is the beginning, this is our launch, and therefore this is our start in terms of a website, but it's also a start in terms of the events, in terms of the awards, and more. There's much more that we have in store that we plan to phase in over the next couple years. Many, many discussions have been going on for the last year, and I certainly anticipate many, many more discussions going on as we move forward and begin to launch new ventures, new awards, new events. I encourage people, if you have ideas, bring them forth, shoot me an email, give me a call. So it will be a working site, and this will be a work in progress over the course of time, because this is just the start. A few people I'd like to thank that we got to this point. First of all, I'd like to thank some of those people that have partnered with us today. Brad Oswald from K-Star Printing is here. Before I even dove into the details, he said, yes, we'll partner right away. We dove into the details, create a partnership. So many thanks to Brad. Many thanks to Florida Graphics and Mark Barnett, ProGraphs and Brad Peterson, Momentum Media out of Ithaca, New York, and Mark Goldberg, their publisher, the Evansville Sports Corporation and their executive director, Jason Sands, the athletic director of the University of Southern Indiana, John Mark Hall, and the University of Rio Grande and their athletic director, Jeff Lanham. Again, I certainly plan to announce quite a few additional partnerships as we move forward. I'd also like to thank David Cotting, who helped design the logo for us for small college basketball. I'd like to thank Roger Palmer, used to coach against him in the state of Delaware, and now he is our Director of National Partnerships out of the state of Delaware. I'd like to thank Ryan Jennings and WYSIWYG for the creation of the website and the build out for that. I'd like to thank Rick Wagner, who is here with us today, for creating the videos. Your two videos you see on the homepage, the video that you see as the State of Small College Basketball Address. Rick is one of the best that there is. He's been up for an Emmy Award and is one of the very best that there is when it comes to video creation, and very proud and honored to be able to work with Rick. Certainly like to thank Tyler Price, our Sports Information Director. Some people may have no idea how much time and effort we've spent creating this website, sending out releases, and so much time and effort for the last 9 to 12 months that he's put into this. So I sincerely thank Tyler, and now we know that our work has just begun on that front. Two others I'd like to thank, and that is the folks at Charlie's House. Some of those know in the room that I serve as executive director for a small nonprofit. We literally had it written into my contract that there's no conflict with small college basketball. They've given me the freedom and the autonomy to spend the time to make this happen. So I sincerely thank the board of directors of Charlie's House for giving me the freedom and autonomy to make this creation, bring it to life. And last, my wife Christine, who is here, I'd like to certainly thank. She still thinks I'm a little bit crazy, I think. She may be right a little bit, and certainly my son Sean, who's had to put up with a tremendous amount of time when I close the door and just work well into the night and over the weekends, etc. I know I've disappeared an awful lot over the last number of months into the office, and this is why. So how can you help? Those that are watching, those that are in the room. One, continue to visit the website as we continue to update, and take your time going through the different tabs and the information we put out there on the website. If you represent an association, if you represent a university, please put our logo and link on your sports page, your athletic page, your men's basketball page, etc., and link to us. Obviously, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. You know the routine. Take the RSS feed, the automatic feeds, to our blog, to our YouTube channel. That's really important for us as we grow going forward. To tell our story to thousands and thousands of people throughout the country, please head to our social media to follow us along there. If you're interested in partnering with us in any capacity, please contact me. Shoot me an email at smallcollegebasketball@gmail.com, and I'd love to have those discussions about partnering. And last, I'd like to sincerely thank those people that took the time to be here today. We chose this date roughly a month and a half, 2 months ago. Obviously, there's a few other things going on in Kansas City, and one thing in particular, at this point, looking at it in hindsight, I realize this is not the greatest and best day to be holding a press conference to make such an announcement. So I sincerely thank you for taking the time to be here with us today, and I thank those that are watching this press conference on video. Today, the fulfillment of a dream begins, and I thank you for taking the time to be here. I thank you for taking the time to visit our website and take an interest in what we're doing in small college basketball in this country. Otherwise, I sincerely thank you and open up if there's any questions.